Okay, boys and girls, you're watching another new car spin. This is the Mazda CX-5. All-wheel drive, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's the Japanese Audi. And why would I say that? Well, first of all, I've owned several Audis, so I know what I'm talking about here. The features that you get on this car and the performance that you get in this car outweigh any cost of the, what is that, Volkswagen Audi group product. So first thing we do is we look at the inside and we go, oh yeah, look at that. The interior is kind of Audi-like. We actually have a Cartura, it's called Cartura Brown, this color, which is on the signature trim, which is what we have here. We have a Bose stereo. This is actually Napa leather, which you could not get on the Audi Q3. There are a few things here I want to talk to you about on Mazdas that make sense here. Even if you're not a car enthusiast, this is why Mazda owners are not so morose. Basically, it's a performance-oriented SUV. So why would you choose this over something like a Mazda 3? If you're just getting your driver's license, or maybe you're in college and you needed to kind of like update or upgrade your ride, what is so special about this Mazda, and in particular why the CX-5 over the CX-50, or maybe why the CX-5 over the 3 hatchback or the 3 sedan? We're going to talk about all of that. So as you can see on the back, it says skyactive-g. That is very important. It also says turbo. It also says signature all-wheel drive. This is the top of the line. Your worst case on this is $42,000. Parking sensors, you could see. This thing has everything. So if you wanted to get an Audi Q3, which is similar in size to this, you'd be spending about $47,000. And what are you really getting in that Q3? You're getting less power. You're getting, well, we won't talk about reliability because there is no reliability in the Audi. But what you get here is, and go look it up. Scotty Kilmer has a lot of videos on the Mazda skyactive-g. It's like, well, this is the reason why Mazda is #1 in reliability. This is the engine to get. This is the setup to get all-wheel drive with a real automatic transmission. I'm kind of all over the place here right now because I had 3 cups of coffee and it's a really nice day out. So keep up with me, okay? What we have is the perfect platform for tuning the ultimate sleeper. So you don't even need to do Coney coilovers and lower the ride. You could do that, maybe. What you would do is you would do an exhaust delete first, and then you would put a JB4 tune on this thing. The funny thing is, if you put 93 octane in here, this is like 252 horsepower, somewhere around there. And then if you use just the cheap octane, you get somewhere around 220, 224, somewhere in there. So all you have to do is put in premium fuel and you immediately get the better tune just by stock, just by the way Mazda does it. So if you want to boost that power and change your throttle mapping, this is where you start having fun in the tuner scene. But you would have this over the Mazda 3, for instance, because if it snows, you're going to want the ground clearance. So do you really want to lower this? We go back and forth on these things here at New Car Spin. It's just me, honestly. 9 years of this stuff. What I can tell you is this. The day Mazda stops making the CX-5 is not as sad a day as the day you never bought one. You need to have one of these in your life, because if you really are a car enthusiast, we know you are just by driving one of these, and it could just be stock, and I know exactly who you are. So let's do this. Let's open the trunk here. Power trunk, of course. It's got an extra button on the bottom here to lock the car. It's kind of an interesting Mazda feature. Obviously we can close it from here. Inside, boom, look at that, a spare tire. None of that nonsense run flat stuff, and it's full size. Maybe, nope, but it is the, what's the height on this one? 17. It's a 17-inch wheel. Bose, that's your subwoofer, by the way. We have handles here to lower the 40, 20, 40 split seats. Charging points. All right, it's got everything you need for, I don't know what you do in the back of one of these. Over here, oh, it's locked. That's the other thing I don't understand is the door locks. Why do they have these old school 90s boomer setups for door locks where it's like only one door will open? Here's the thing, Mazda's really good at this. This back seat has air vents. We do not have a panoramic sunroof, but look at this leather, and it's actually perforated back here. Not heated seats back here, not overly luxurious, but it's just right because look at this door. This door opens practically 90 degrees. Makes it very easy to get in and out. Also, if you're moving in or out of your dorm room or stuff like that, look at all the crap you can get through this door without having to open the back hatch. You can actually move boxes in here. So, I can lower the seat. Obviously, my seat's way back because I'm 6 feet tall. But your sister driving will be able to lower the seat and just move boxes right in or out right here, or your dog, whatever. If you know, if you back into your parking spot, whatever. This car is very versatile for this living thing. Let's pop the hood. I'm looking right at it. Such a tool. I'm such a tool. It's beeping because the engine's running and my keys in the pocket. These are 19-inch wheels, by the way. So this is the weird thing, is Mazda's kind of gone soft with the CX-5. They've been appealing to boomers, I think. Because I don't think boomers really understand this car. They just go get Toyotas, and that's great. So why the chintzy wheels? Why the chromey stuff? It's just kind of like enthusiast repellent. But don't be fooled, okay? You black out this trim, you put on wheels from a Mazda 3, do something different, and this thing will kick ass. So, you know, actually, if you go online and do some research, there are actually diesel versions of this. There's like 15 of them around the country right now, 2019 models with the diesel that get 30 mpgs. So while they may call this a luxury vehicle because of the Napa leather and the heated and vented seats and the heated steering wheel and the Bose stereo, that 2019 diesel with 30 mpgs, what is that? 500 miles of range without having to stop for fuel? Now that's luxury. Yep, it's an engine. Insulated hood. It's actually, look how thick this hood is. I've never really seen a hood that thick. My God, it's so heavy too. But of course you have a hood prop. It just purrs. But this is the magical engine here. Turbocharged. Runs on 5W dumbass. You got a regular dipstick. Radar sensor up front. More parking sensors, because it does have the radar cruise. It even has lane keeping. Keyless entry. So yeah, you see signs of its age because this thing came out in 2017. I was actually at the LA Auto Show when they launched this. This looked very similar to the other launch car that was there, which is called the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. It was so hard to tell the two apart from each other, but these days, I mean, clearly, if you didn't get the Alfa, you made the best choice. Just get the Mazda. And I've never owned a Mazda, so don't call me the enthusiast fanboy. I've had Audis, Volvos, Land Rovers, but never had a Mazda. But every time Mazda gives me a car, it's an awesome experience. So yeah, I've been on press trips. I've driven the CX-70, the CX-90, CX-50, the 30, and the 5, obviously, here we are, and the Miata. I think the Miata is definitely overdue for an update, but here the CX-5, which is kind of getting older. You can tell with a few things, like the way the keyless door is, even the wipers. Watch this, like on the Mazda 3, the sedan, the fluid, like in a Volvo or a Mercedes, the fluid comes out in the wipers, but here we just have the regular jets. We have the updated rearview mirror design from like 2017. This is kind of when all vehicles started going this way. We have integrated garage door opener. So down here we've got the heated seats, we've got cooled seats, we've got a heated steering wheel. I mean, we have all these features that you might not even recognize. By the way, these are the best vented seats. The second best vented seats are the Lexus LS 500. So when you're out here in Texas and it's 5,000 degrees, you definitely will enjoy this vehicle. We have the center display here, which I can change what it says in the middle. It's got, you know, some really cool features with lane keep assist. You can actually see in the heads-up display, you'll get your navigation, and also if there's a car in your left blind spot, you get a blind spot indicator here. Right blind spot, you get a blind spot indicator here. And obviously you've got the Bose stereo, real beefy A-pillars. It's just, this is a great vehicle, great design, great materials. Why would you ever get an Audi over this? Why would you ever get a Toyota? I mean, you're looking here at the best of everything. Wireless charging, yes. We have this control for the touchscreen, which is and isn't touchscreen. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Some cars are. The Mazda CX-90 is. This is not. But it is when you have Apple CarPlay. It's kind of weird. So, what are you missing in here? We even have auto hold to hold us at the red lights. Put my foot on the brake. There we go. Well, what you're not seeing is the auto stop start button, because this does not have that. This engine will not stop at red lights, meaning that in Texas, the engine still runs, your AC still runs, you get to still actually enjoy the vehicle for what it is. What else does it not have? It does not have a CVT. It's actually a traditional, normal automatic transmission. No, there's no manual available, but we do have manual mode, and we do have paddles, right? So, what is this car missing exactly? We don't know what it's missing, because it's not missing anything. Let me just get the window sticker out for you. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so 2025 Mazda CX-5 Soul Red Crystal Metallic. They launched this car in 2017 with this color. 2.5 liter turbo skyactive-g. $42,750. Now you think about it, the paint itself is $595? Yeah, $600. And then, of course, the rear bumper guard, whatever that was, I didn't even notice it. Oh, is that silly silver-looking thing at the bottom of the bumper? Don't get that. Okay, so now we're under 42, so we're 41 something. Or 41,330 plus 1420 processing handling. Yeah, but everything else comes with the car. It's all standard. And then fuel economy wise, 27 on the highway. So yeah, the diesel gets a little bit better fuel economy. You'd have to buy a used one to get one. So that's my point. This whole thing is cheaper than a Q5, more powerful than a Q5, definitely more reliable than a Q5, but don't quote me on reliability, because I think reliability is a myth. Some kind of wood trim. Could be, it feels like wood, but I don't know, it could be plastic. But it's also on the doors. Anyway, let me get my seatbelt on. Put on drive, pull the windows down. So what I would say is, no matter what your age, you would get this CX-5 over the Mazda 3 for cheaper insurance. You would get the CX-5 because you can tune it the same way those guys tune the Mazda 3. You can do a muffler delete, you can do a JB4 mod to the car, and you can actually put in 93 octane, you can get over 250 horsepower, and let me just go to there we go. It's gonna make a U-turn here. So they picked this car up this morning. That's why I've had so many cups of coffee, and it's actually a really nice day. So I'm like, yeah, let's go out and have some fun. Let's shoot a car before they pick it up, because, you know, I have to anyway. They give me this car for a week. I get a car every week. I do a video on it. It's part of the deal here. It's a smooth ride. You don't need to lower it. You don't need to add Coney coilovers. You could, and that's the beauty of it. You know, the steering is very sharp. It's also, it feels hydraulic, not electronic, but it is electronic because it has lane keep assist. That's the only way that works. And, you know, the benefit here is, like, here we go, this off-road part is with all-wheel drive. It's going to send power to the rear. It's front-wheel biased, but it's going to send power to the rear when it needs to. And then here in Texas with these terrible roads, you don't really feel everything here. It's ironing out the stuff you don't need. Now, obviously, the car I drove a couple weeks ago, which was an amazing ride, was the Hyundai Sonata N-Line, but not many people are going to go get a Hyundai Sonata and think they're cool. However, anyone in a Mazda is cool in my book. There's a lot of construction going on around here. Anyway, the reason why I would do a muffler delete is because Mazda does kind of go on the luxurious soft side here, and I think this thing would be awesome if you went a little bit more hardcore. And if Mazda sold a hardcore version of this, it would be really nice. It would be really, really nice to have a fun car from the factory that's just kind of like turnkey and convenient. So what I think is a benefit here is you can get, if you're younger, you can get one of these used, slide underneath that insurance BS radar, make some mods, learn more about your car, and have an awesome ride that will last you a very long time and doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to keep going. So this is the beauty of it. And I hope that Mazda keeps the CX-5 going for as long as they can. And what they do is they finally do a hot version of this, because I think a hot version of this is ripe. I mean, we need a hot version of this. We don't need some boomer special, you know, some kind of like, oh, let's get the older people that drink a bunch of wine and love, you know, yacht rock, and get them to buy one of these because it's got more chrome on it. No, I think what we need to do is we need to lower it. We need to make the exhaust as loud as we can legally make it. It needs to make some noises, and they don't have to mess with the steering. They don't have to mess with any of the features. It's already got everything you need. Actually, this is way too cold. I'm turning that down. And what you really need is to just enjoy what you have, and it's not hard to do. I mean, this thing is super. Let me make a left here, actually. Super enjoyable. You know, now that the trees have grown in, I can't even recognize where I am anymore. It's got this deep guttural sound. And the all-wheel drive aspect you gotta have in any car. So the Mazda 3 sedan, it is a nice little car. I would still call that, every Mazda is gonna be the Japanese Audi for sure. But do you need a sedan? Do you need a little hatchback? Do you need an SUV? Choose one. Just choose any of them, and make sure it's got this skyactive-g 2.5 liter turbo. That's the key. And which, listen to it. Ready? You hear that? Let's see if I can do it again. Yep. So there you go, Mazda CX-5. It is quite literally the perfect CUV. I'm so glad that they make this the way they do. We got our lane keep assist or lane departure warning. We have our adaptive driving here. We have our radar cruise there. Obviously Bluetooth, because our phones have connectivity, wireless connectivity for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So what are you missing here? What exactly did I not show you? What, I mean, yeah, I think I'm at a loss for words here. This car has everything. Except heated rear seats and rear sunshades. But if you properly tint the windows, it doesn't make a difference on the sunshades. So there you go. I don't know why I'm rambling on about this car, but I'm just trying to get it through your head that if you like to mod your cars, or you like working on your cars, or maybe you have no choice but to work on your cars, this is so reliable you won't ever have to work on it. Don't quote me on that. And then sportiness, this thing is fun to drive, and it's capable because it's a CUV, so it's got a higher ride height. It's like 7.5, 7.6 inches somewhere, don't quote me on that. And then all-wheel drive, so even if it does snow, you can get to work, or, you know, go where you needed to go. And yeah, do you see any downside to this car? Is there any downside here? I don't think so. Potholes. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna go fishing. It's been a busy day. It is 8:46 a.m. I gotta figure out what to do. The life of Brian. All right, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. What would you rather have instead of the CX-5? What are you smoking?